Okay, so Jihaad Campbell called out Saquon Barkley before he was drafted to Philly. Meanwhile, Howie Roseman continues to bring in pass rushers. It don't look good for Bryce Huff, especially after this recent move. But that's not all. The Eagles bring in another rugby player, this time for defense. Plus, Jordan Davis has a message about his new deal. And a UDFA we all got to keep our eye on, especially playing next to Quinion. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So Eagles football is low-key back, as April 29th was voluntary workout days, and we seen a couple familiar faces at the NovaCare complex putting in work. By the way, check out new running back A.J. Dillon rocking the number 29. Next up, we'll have the much anticipated rookie mini camp Friday and Saturday, where we'll not just see the rookies we drafted, but all the UDFAs, plus all the rookie minicamp invites. The list gets longer and longer every day. I'm excited to see who gets the coaching staff's attention, whether they were drafted, UDFA, or invited, so we could talk more about them. As for the latest list, there's two players I want to talk about. One of them being the 21-year-old rugby player Carson Patu via Philadelphia Eagles Centra and Laurie H. Looks like the Eagles are going back to the rugby well to try to strike gold, this time not on the offensive side or the O-line. This time as a linebacker slash edge rusher, which is definitely interesting as this defensive end room continues to get more crowded. Which brings me to my next guy, Kyman Rucker, edge rusher out of North Carolina, who had a great 2023 season, but slowed down in 2024 due to injuries. He only played 8 games, but in them 8 games had 6 sacks and 31 hurries. One of his knocks, just like one of my favorite draftees, Antoine Powell-Ryland, is that he has short arms, and they're worried about the physicality of the NFL. But you are not productive in the ACC for just no apparent reason. If this kid had the 2023 season in 2024, he would have been drafted almost guaranteed. I'm telling you, from the long list of invitees to the UDFAs, the competition is going to be fierce. I like most of the competition on defense, and there are a couple competitions on offense as 2 tight ends were invited. I know y'all want me to talk about the guy Malik Carr from Michigan State, but we also got to talk about the guy from Reed Blankenship's college, Holden Willis, which we'll do in a later video. Now let's circle back to the crowded edge rushing room and talk about Bryce Huff, who I feel like we never talk about when we mention edge rushers on the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe under Fangio in year 2, he plays better, but I'm not going to hold my breath. The fact of the matter is he had one really good season with the Jets in a different scheme as a situational pass rusher, but because he didn't play bad the majority of the season, he was just injured. There are teams that might take a flyer on him if they run the same system. Either or Bryce Huff if the Eagles choose to do so. Now, I don't think he's talking cut. I think he's talking trade, and it wouldn't be to at least June 1st, which is not too far away. I saw an article saying that San Francisco 49ers could give us a 2026 conditional 6th round for Huff. San Fran stands out among the potential landing spots for Huff. For starters, if schematic fit is a major limitation for Huff with the Eagles, it would be a major boost with the 49ers, who just rehired former Jets head coach Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator. Huff had his best seasons in Saleh's system, including his breakout 2023 when he notched double-digit sacks. Saleh has raved about the former UDFA Huff and his potential to do more. Another reason San Fran will be good because they lost a lot of pieces on defense. Again, we're not going to get rich with the capital we get from always 8 more and got away with it, but it still would save money on the cap in the long run for the future, especially if he's not a part of your plans. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's switch gears to something I saw in a store. Now, granted, I don't drink wine at all. You already know what I do. However, These bottles are fire. If you live in PA or Jersey, check your local wine and spirits. Even if you don't, just check because these bottles are crazy. Another thing I want to show you that I saw on Twitter is this crazy idea for a jersey. The dagger with a number 1 and an arrow to number 6, which closed the game in Super Bowl 59. This gotta be my next jersey giveaway idea. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's get back to some football talk. I want to go over one of my favorite UDFA safety out of Toledo, Maxon Hook. Not only is he good friends with Quinyon Mitchell, they play together and did it at a high level. Hook's final year as a senior safety for Toledo, he had 107 total tackles, including 62 solo, 2 interceptions, and 4 pass breakups along the way. He barely missed any tackles, with one of the best rates in the country at just 6.4%, which would put him in the top 10 among FBS safeties. It was also his 3rd straight year making first team All-MAC. Now, for those saying, who cares, he's just a UDFA, we have a safety starting in our defense who has gotten better each year, and he was a UDFA, Reed Blankenship. And Maxon Hook low-key reminds me of him. Moving on to the Eagles' first-round pick, linebacker Jihaad Campbell, who absolutely loves a challenge. Prior to being drafted, he was asked what running back he would rather tackle, and he kept picking the better running back. Listen what happens when Saquon came up.
CMC or Saquon?
Ooh, Saquon.
Saquon,
Yeah.
you like that challenge,
Hey,
right?
hey, if you watching this, Saquon, hey, I'm coming for you.
Ooh, I like that. Saquon or Derrick Henry?
Same energy. I'm
You coming?
I'm really coming for both of them.
Okay, I like that.
I'm coming for Derek. You know, he Bama brother, so
Gotta
I
go
gotta
for
come
him.
for him.
Like I said, he continued to pick the better or tougher guy to tackle because he likes a challenge. However, he didn't call anybody out except for Saquon, and he did pick Henry over him, probably because the challenge to tackle him, but I love that energy. Here's my thing. If you're going to talk that talk, you got to be able to back it up. You won't be able to tackle Saquon in the league, but you'll be able to practice against him, and I do want to see how you fare against guys like King Henry and others. Jihaad Campbell talked the talk. Now we got to walk the walk. But according to Brian Baldinger, he's absolutely going to walk the walk no matter where he plays.
Let's watch the Eagles' newest first-round pick, Jihaad Campbell. This is 2023 when he wore number 30. And this is like what all linebackers got to be able to do. Just get on your horse, run, and go blow somebody up, all right? He can do that. Ran a 4.52 at the combine at 235 pounds. All right, you watch him right here. And watch him in zone coverage. Just react. Just react to the quarterback. All right, you're dropping it into the hook curl zone right here. And you get right in front of the throw. Right there, you take that one away from Will Rogers of Mississippi State. Okay? Then you do this. Like, here it is. Like, watch him right here. Just cover the tight end. All right? You're going to have to do this. Cover the tight end, get on him, get on that upfield shoulder, see the ball, and then make the play. All right? Backs and tight ends. In certain coverages, that's what he's going to have to be able to do. Now, he moved to number 11 in 2024. Bigger and stronger and faster, and his reactions were just as good. Same thing. Like this play right here, bats the ball back and then back to the quarterback and then tackles the quarterback. Just instant reactions. All right, that's what you want to see from your linebackers. Just be able to read and react. All right, here he is. Now, watch the depth that he gets on this drop against Georgia. Carson Beck at quarterback. Like you just see him like Michael Jordan, just hang time, get up in the air, and looks like an athlete with the ball in his hands. We'll just keep rolling through it because it's just one skill after another right here. All right, here we go. Now, they started bringing him off the edge a little bit, not a lot, but you can see, bam, that dip right there. That's big time. All right, he can dip like that and then get to the quarterback and get the ball out. The ball's loose, change the game. Change the game with plays like that. All right, you got to see that a little bit this past year. All right, now you do this. Now you get this. Will Campbell against Jihaad Campbell. All right, LSU, Alabama on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge. Doesn't get any bigger than that. All right, beats Will Campbell. Quarterback helped him out a little bit. All right, now here we go. Off the edge. Again, speed. Like, you run these kind of stunts. Now, they did this last year to Zach Bond. Like, this was a big change up to the Eagles. When they would go to a 5-1, they would put Zach Bond off the edge, let him come and just do this. All right? Zach Bond, Jihaad Campbell. I mean, that's going to be fun to watch.
Going to be crazy, not just because Jihaad Campbell's a beast, but he's playing next to Zach Bond, and he's playing for Vic Fangio. Lastly, let's talk about the move the Eagles made yesterday. I went live for it, but for those who don't check out the live streams and or don't have notification bell hit, Jordan Schultz was the first to report it. Sources, the Eagles are exercising the fifth-year option on D-tackle Jordan Davis, locking in a guaranteed $12.9 million for the 2026 season. Now, I ain't going to spend too much time on it as we did an hour yesterday, but I absolutely like the move, predicted the move the day before, simply because he's one of the best run stoppers in the NFL. What he does on first and second down puts the Eagles in a good situation on third down to be in a pass rush situation, whether they leave him on the field or off the field. I know he only plays 37% of the snaps, but them snaps affect the game so much simply because teams don't run on us. They get predictable. They get in third and longs, and that allows the pass rushers, whether it's the interior or edge rushers, to get better looks. When you can pin your ear back and know it's a pass, you go right for the quarterback. You don't got to stay in your gap and or wait a little bit to see if it's a run. You can go right after the quarterback. It also keeps him under contract for 2 years, 2025 being real cheap on his rookie deal, and 2026 at 12.9, which is still cheap. Javon Hargrave, who's a shell of himself, over 30, is making 15 mil. They're different D tackles. Jordan Davis will get better via the pass rush. Vic Fangio believes it, so does Clint Hurt. But his job is to stop the run. His job is to make teams one-dimensional, and he's been doing it. Plus, he's been getting better each year. I believe in 2 years, the Eagles are going to find out everything they need to know about Jordan Davis to see if he's going to be on our team long-term, whether he'll take a friendly deal because he is a nose tackle and not a pass rushing DT. All that will be handled. But I love the move. Shout out to Jordan Davis. He actually had a message on IG about it. And again, he's just a great leader on his team. The Philly Dogs look up to him. He said, "Glory to the most merciful. I'm grateful and excited to continue being a part of something special. Thank you to the organization, my village, and the people of Philadelphia for your support. There's no place I'd rather be. As always, I will strive to be better than I was the day before. Upward and onward, JD." Beautifully said. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Good, bad, happy, sad. Drop the muscle emoji. Y'all been slacking on the muscle emoji. We Philly strong. Lastly, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out.